value home. Hurricane Beryl sets back CARICOM's 25 by 25 food security target. President Ali. Citizens should receive direct cash transfers from oil revenues rather than politically driven cash handouts. Hughes. Bodies of missing Unity Mohaika youths recovered, and Enterprise man fatally stabbed. Police hunting 3 suspects. HGP Nightly News begins now. Good evening to our viewers here in Guyana and online. I'm Aletha Grant with the Monday, 8th July 2024 edition of the HGP Nightly News. At this hour, we will tell you that Hurricane Beryl's destructive path through the Caribbean has dealt a severe blow to CARICOM's ambitious 25 by 2025 food security targets, devastating agriculture sectors, and halting progress towards reducing the region's food import bill. We have more details in this report.
During a live broadcast on Sunday, addressing Hurricane Beryl's impact on the Caribbean, CARICOM Chairman and Guyana's President Irfan Ali emphasized its disastrous effects. Some islands' agriculture sector were completely devastated, directly hindering the region's goal to reduce the food import bill by 25% by 2025.
I am tremendously concerned at the setback Hurricane Beryl would have on the 25 by 2025 food security plan.
These member states lost investments that were made in areas such as infrastructure, water system, technology, crop variety, farm support and farm-to-farm market infrastructure, as well as tens of billions of dollars lost from damages to crops and livelihoods in the agriculture and fishery sectors.
Not only is the initial the investment and costs of damage concerning to me as lead head in agriculture, but it is also the long-term investment costs to rebuild the infrastructure.
Last week, Hurricane Beryl, a Category 4 storm, struck several CARICOM member states, including Barbados, Grenada, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Jamaica and St. Lucia. In Barbados, a third of Bridgetown's fishing harbor was destroyed, with over 200 fishing vessels damaged or destroyed. Hundreds of acres of crops lost, while in Grenada and Carriacou and Petite Martinique, islands were completely destroyed, including livestock and crops. In St. Vincent and the Grenadines, over 80% of agriculture was reported damaged. St. Lucia saw 35% of its banana and plantain crops affected, while Jamaica's agriculture suffered extensive damage, recording in excess of 80% in losses. 25 by 2025 is a comprehensive partnership aimed at reducing CARICOM's food import bill, boosting intra-regional trade, and promoting economic growth. It focuses on sustainable agriculture, market-driven production, income generation, food security, and responsible natural resource management. However, the Ministerial Task Force on Agriculture will convene a meeting over the next few days to discuss price stability and critical commodities needed so that it can be supplied to the affected islands to avoid further impact at the household level. President Ali also announced plans to collaborate with regional and international partners, including United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization, Inter-American Institute for Cooperation on Agriculture, and the Brazilian Agriculture Research Corporation. I am Carice Gonzalez reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
In this Antonio Days report, you will hear that the Alliance for Change AFC leader Nigel Hughes has called for a law to be enacted where all Guyanese can get direct cash transfers from oil revenues rather than cash grants that appear to be politically motivated.
Therefore, I am proposing that we abolish immediately the liberty of giving government ministers or politicians, whether in the opposition or government, the right to come around and give us cash grants, handouts for flood relief.
Leader of the Alliance for Change, Nigel Hughes, speaking at his party's 8th biannual Congress on June 29, 2024. Hughes said that every citizen must be given a direct cash grant to their account, and this must be enshrined in law. According to him, individuals must enjoy the right to decide how they spend direct cash transfers.
Each and every one of us is entitled by right to participate in the bounty of this country. We must put it in law, direct cash grants, so the politicians, I know a politician, can't come around and give you money and tell you be grateful.
The attorney told party members that Guyana was currently earning $65 million an hour from its oil revenues. However, he highlighted that there was no trace of citizens benefiting from Guyana's oil wealth. Meanwhile, Dr. Andrew Branley, member of the Oil and Gas Global Network, OGGN, told Nightly News that he has differing views on cash transfers. Branley, a Guyanese based in Switzerland, told Nightly News that people want to work and you need to assist them. He has recommended that the state introduce a model akin to Europe, where there is a welfare system that introduces a social security, unemployment insurance, and a disability insurance. He opined that this model would work rather than politicians handing out cash grants. The university lecturer at Ludwig Maximilians in Munich, Switzerland, concluded that cash handouts are not sustainable and are prone to corruption. Antonio Day reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
And on a more somber side of reporting, Mrs. Gloria Fraser, the matriarch of HGP TV, Omar Farouk Inc., Channel 16, Cable 67, has passed on at the age of 82. And tonight we pay tribute to her legacy. Daisy Richards reports.
Mrs. Gloria Fraser passed away peacefully Thursday last at the Georgetown Public Hospital, where she was surrounded by her loved ones. Ms. Gloria, as she was fondly known, co-founded HGP TV, Omar Farouk Inc., with her husband, the late Terry Nelson. Following her husband's death in 2009, Mrs. Fraser led the company alongside her 6 children. Mrs. Fraser experienced a prolonged period of illness before her passing. HGP TV, a community station, was founded by Mr. and Mrs. Fraser, popularly known as Omar Farouk, in 1992. Terry Nelson Fraser returned to Guyana in 1970 after answering the call for Guyanese immigrants abroad to return to Guyana to help in the development and advancement of the newly formed republic. Upon his return to Guyana, he immediately entered local entertainment business and opened his first recording studio at the First Federation Life Insurance Building in Georgetown. Terry worked tirelessly to mobilize and develop the talents of local youths. Nelson, in 1971, fell in love with acting on the east coast of Demerara, where he later built a recording studio and a record manufacturing plant, Halagala Productions. Mrs. Fraser was very much a part of the day-to-day operations of the television station, and in 2016 received the Golden Arrow of Achievement AA from then-President David Granger for her tireless work in the entertainment industry. Mrs. Gloria Fraser leaves memories for her 6 children, 22 grandchildren, and 20 great-grandchildren. For HGP Nightly News, I am Daisy Richards.
Thank you, Daisy. We will be back after this break. Stay with us.
Physicians Light Intelligent Lenses. Pick your color. Choose your style. Available at Optique Vision Care.
Welcome to SNL Electrical Inc., where lighting and electrical needs are met with expertise and style. From the latest in electrical lamps to durable cables, circuit breakers, panels, we have it all. Illuminate your space with our elegant chandeliers, stunning crystal lights, and versatile pole lights. Looking to upgrade your comfort? Explore top-of-the-line AC units and our diverse selections of stylish styles. Visit us at 170-180 Thomas Street, Kitty, Georgetown. Discover solution that not only lights up your world but transforms it. Call us on telephone number 226-3018 or 223-1634. SNL Electrical Inc. Powering your life with elegance, quality, and care.
Say goodbye to germs with a free Sterling Super Soap automatic dispenser. That's right, get free equipment and installation of our touch-free dispenser. The perfect amount of soap every time ensures clean and germ-free hands. Refilling is quick and easy with 4 amazing fragrances: coconut, sunflower sunrise, pink blossom, and citrus zest. Call us on 265-7403.
GCOM is currently conducting a claims and objections exercise to produce an official list of electors, OLE. GCOM has posted the preliminary list of electors, PLE, in all of the registration divisions across Guyana for you to check if you are listed, and if so, whether your particulars are accurate. If you are 18 years or over by June 30, 2024, and you are a Guyanese citizen by birth, descent, or naturalization, or a citizen from a Commonwealth country living in Guyana for 1 year or more, you are eligible for inclusion in the OLE. If you are eligible for inclusion in the OLE, you are required to apply for registration if your name is not in the PLE, apply for a transfer if you have changed your address since you were registered, apply for a name change if you have changed your name, or apply for a correction if your registration particulars are incorrect. Any person whose information on the PLE is incorrect can apply for such information to be changed or corrected. Any person applying for a change or correction to his or her particulars must provide the relevant original source document: birth certificate and deed poll for a name change by deed poll, marriage certificate and ID card for a name change by marriage, divorce absolute in the case of a woman who is desirous of reverting to her maiden name from her married name, birth certificate, adoption or naturalization certificate for correction of minor clerical errors. Visit the GCOM registration office responsible for your area of residence to conduct any of those transactions. The claims aspect of this exercise will end on Monday, July 15, 2024. For more information, contact the GCOM on 225-0278-9 or visit www.gcom.org.gy.
Krishna Rock Establishment. No job is too small or too large. We specialize in all types of fabricating, machinery, excavator repairs, rice field pumps, and hydraulic hoses. Visit us at Lot 113, Block CC Monrepo, East Coast, Demerara, or call 220-9624, 616-9416, or 619-7880. At Krishna Rock Establishment, no job is too small or too large.
Welcome back with the HGP Nightly News. The bodies of 20-year-old Navin Not and 17-year-old Daniel Budram were on Monday recovered in the Atlantic Ocean just off the coast of Unity, East Coast, Demerara. Find out more details from Tiana Cole.
On Monday started a search operation for missing youths, 17-year-old Daniel Budram and 20-year-old Navin Not, who went missing after swimming at the Unity Beach, Jamaica. Their bodies were on Monday afternoon recovered just off the Unity Beach, East Coast, Demerara. A search party on Monday afternoon at around 14:45 found the bodies of the youths with what appeared to be fish bites. Their bodies will be transported to the Memorial Garden Funeral Home in Georgetown for storage pending autopsies. On Sunday, Minister of Home Affairs Robson East Coast, Demerara, where an extensive search operation was ongoing for the youths who both hailed from the same village. According to reports, Not, Budram, and another friend, Joshua Deonorine, went swimming at the Unity Beach earlier Sunday. Deonorine stated that the water was inshore with heavy waves upon their arrival. Despite the conditions, the youths proceeded to swim. The Inoran, who cannot swim, exited the water after approximately half an hour, since the water was about chest height. After getting dressed, he noticed his friends were no longer visible in the water, and he began to search for them, but to no avail. Hence, he subsequently returned to the village and an alarm was raised. In a united effort to locate the missing youths, a search party was immediately formed to locate the missing youths. The Guyana Police Force, in its Facebook page, said it will be conducting an investigation. The Coast Guard was deployed at first light to assist in search efforts. Tiana Ko reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Antonio Day tells us now that likely presidential candidate of the Alliance for Change, Nigel Hughes, has rapped the government for failing to appoint a substantive petroleum commission. Once elected to office in 2025, the attorney says that will be on his agenda.
On Friday, leader of the Alliance for Change AFC Nigel Hughes condemned the state for failing to appoint the Petroleum Commission. Once elected to government in 2025, the attorney said that this will be prioritized.
The People's Progressive Party has singularly refused to abandon this approach, and their failure to establish the Petroleum Commission is proof of this. Within the first 100 days of being elected to office, I will establish the Petroleum Commission.
Since the People's Progressive Party Civic, known as the PPPC, government assumed office on August 2020, Natural Resources Minister Vikram Bharat had said that the commission was a priority. The Petroleum Commission bill was first presented to the National Assembly in May of 2017 and returned for a second reading and debate 1 month later. The PPPC, then in opposition, firmly criticized the bill as it questioned the powers granted to the Minister of Natural Resources. Hughes remarked that an oil and gas policy in a modern society like Guyana must benefit all, while criticizing government's mishandling of the sector, noting that consideration and deliberations of a field of quote-unquote appropriately qualified and experienced experts are lacking. To this end, he announced that the AFC's Oil and Gas Advisory Committee will be headed by 2 officials who are versed in the petroleum sector.
In consideration of these matters, the party has appointed Dr. Vince Adams and Mr. David Patterson to head the Alliance for Change Oil and Gas Advisory Committee with full powers to invite highly skilled technical experts, both locally and internationally, onto the committee.
Once elected to the government in 2025, the AFC leader said that he will have no input nor involvement with the party's Oil and Gas Committee. Antonio Day reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Economist Elson L believes that the 1999-2017 cost recovery report for ExxonMobil Guyana is a lesson for the state to enforce certain obligations in its new model production sharing agreement, since the oil company has been non-compliant on many occasions. Antonio Day reports.
It makes no sense for us merely to audit if we're not going to enforce the results of the audit. We need to first of all see them conduct audits, publicize them. But more than that, we need to see the government actually follow through. And so while we are seeing some real areas of concern in the first audit and the second audit, now is the time for action.
Economist Elson L, speaking with Nightly News recently, in its 1999 to 2017 cost recovery report for ExxonMobil, UK auditing firm IHS Markit stated that no charges for VAT have been included in the cost recovery statements submitted by Esso Exploration and Production Guyana Limited, EEPGL. According to the firm, this aligns with the Industry Standards and Production Sharing Agreement, PSA. However, financial analyst Joe Bagwandin, during an exclusive interview with Nightly News, agreed to those.
That is correct. In accordance with the petroleum agreement, or which is commonly referred to as the production sharing agreement, PSA, the fiscal terms would have waived VAT and duties, etc. No charges, then they can recover any VAT payment.
Bagman then said, in layman terms, since there are no VAT charges, then there is no recovery. The audit report flagged that EEPGL has not done enough to apprise the state of its activities and costs associated with the development. The audit firm also flagged Exxon for its failure to meet the annual work program and budget submission and providing no justification at the end of each year for scope changes or cost overruns.
The country is getting a profit share together with royalties. So because we're getting a profit share, we have a stake. We're getting a stake of that resource, so it belongs to the country. It is their responsibility to ensure that the venture partners fulfill their obligation. And if that has not been happening, then that is an issue that we have to remedy.
Bagwandin said a more prudent management approach to Guyana's oil and gas resources are needed. Antonio Day reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Thank you, Antonio. More news after this break. Stay tuned.
Planning a cleanup? We can help. Sevon's Waste Management skip bins can be provided for home renovation projects, yard cleanup, or construction project. It's simple. Step 1, give us a call. Step 2, we put down the bin. Step 3, load it up with all of your junk. Step 4, we take it away. That's simple. Bins are also available in various sizes, so there is no job that is too big or too small. Call Sevon's Waste Management today at 218-1455.
The Guyana Elections Commission GCOM is currently conducting a claims and objections exercise to produce an official list of electors OLE. If you became 18 years or over by June 30th, 2024, and you are a Guyanese citizen by birth, descent, or naturalization, or a citizen from a Commonwealth country living in Guyana for 1 year or more, you are eligible for inclusion in the OLE. GCOM has posted the preliminary list of electors PLE in all of the registration divisions across Guyana for you to check if you are listed, and if so, whether your particulars are accurate. If you have changed your address since you were registered, you need to visit the GCOM registration office responsible for your new area of residence to apply for a transfer. Monday, 15 July 2024 is the last day you can apply for a transfer during this exercise. For further information, contact GCOM at 225-027829, 226-65578 or 9, 223-9650, or visit our website at www.gcom.org.gy.
Hey Guyana, are you ready for an African explosion of culture as the African Culture and Development Association ACTA hosts Emancipation Festival 2024, featuring premier cultural acts from top Guyanese groups, South America, the Caribbean, and around the world. Come, let's celebrate the culture of our forefathers with African food, history, fashion, innovation at Guyana's biggest cultural festival. August 1st in the National Park. Gates open at 10 a.m. See you there. Around day, we all hold together.
Some $76.517 billion is being invested in housing development and the building of highways, creating wholesome communities for your families. This, among other developments, is supported by oil and gas revenue.
You're watching the HGP Nightly News. Welcome back. With a more rigorous approach and better treatment, there are close to 9,000 persons living in Guyana with the human immunodeficiency virus and are virally suppressed. More details from Tiana Cole.
We have around 9,000 persons who are living with HIV But what is remarkable is that most of those persons are virally suppressed. And we are able to measure that by doing viral loads to each one of our patients.
That was Minister of Health, Dr. Frank Anthony, speaking at the launch of the Mass Drug Administration campaign for the elimination of lymphatic filariasis in Region 3 and 4. Anthony said persons are now living longer with HIV because they're receiving better and effective treatment. The minister added that over the last couple of years, the ministry has seen a clear distinction in its management of persons with various types of infections.
And we hope that trend continues and people continue to come in, take their treatment, go do their tests, and so forth. And that is very important because, as I said before, we want to reduce this burden of infectious diseases.
Additionally, the minister said he is very confident that hepatitis C can be reduced drastically and sometime in the future be eliminated. He added that about a year ago, persons who were infected with hepatitis C were not able to get treatment because it was costly. Initially, the treatment cost about $80,000, which was broken down to about $20,000. Currently, he noted that it's approximately $2,000 if it is to be bought from the manufacturer. However, through a partnership with the Pan American Health Organization, PAHO, the ministry has been able to access these medicines for less than $120 per patient.
Having implemented this program about a year ago, what we now have is about 42 persons who have been cured of hepatitis C.
Meanwhile, turning his attention to tuberculosis, the minister revealed that the health ministry has moved from recorded 500 cases per year to 300 cases as of last year.
That downward trend is what we want to see continue, so we have to continue with the interventions that we're doing.
Yanako reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Thank you, Tiana. A 25-year-old laborer of Enterprise East Coast Demerara was on Saturday evening fatally stabbed following an argument with 3 suspects over a motorcycle. Tiana Cole again reports.
The dead man has been identified as 25-year-old Travolta Mangal, a laborer of Enterprise East Coast Demerara. According to reports, the incident occurred at around 19 hours on Saturday evening at Park Street Enterprise. 3 accomplices are claimed to be involved. Mangal's mother, 61-year-old Nalini Chand of Chandy Street Enterprise, told investigators that about 17 hours on Saturday that her son left home and at around 18 hours 30, he entered a bar at Park Street Enterprise where he purchased a beer and sat outside the bar. It was reported that about 10 minutes later, 3 suspects who were frequent visitors to the bar went to the business establishment and began playing a game of pool. A while later, the bartender reported that she heard Mangal arguing with one of the 3 suspects about a motorcycle. Shortly after, the 3 suspects left, heading west on Park Street, and Travolta subsequently followed. At about 19 hours, residents observed the 3 suspects chasing Mangal, after which they caught up with him and a scuffle ensued. He managed to escape his attackers by running a short distance, after which he collapsed and lost consciousness. The suspects, seeing Mangal collapse, escaped the scene. The injured man was then picked up by a police mobile anti-crime patrol in an unconscious state. His body was examined and a single stab wound to the chest was observed. He was then rushed to the Georgetown Public Hospital, where he was seen by a doctor on duty and was pronounced dead. An investigation was launched and several persons were questioned, which led to information which revealed the identity of the suspects. They are yet to be arrested. Tianako reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Stay tuned for regional news.
The Guyana Elections Commission GCOM is currently conducting a claims and objections exercise to produce an official list of electors OLE. If you became 18 years or over by June 30th, 2024, and you are a Guyanese citizen by birth, descent, or naturalization, or a citizen from a Commonwealth country living in Guyana for 1 year or more, you are eligible for inclusion in the OLE. GCOM has posted the preliminary list of electors PLE in all of the registration divisions across Guyana for you to check if you are listed, and if so, whether your particulars are accurate. You can make a claim for registration, change or correction to your particulars, or you can object to the inclusion of anyone who you believe should not be on the list. If you are desirous of making a claim or objection, you must visit the GCOM registration office responsible for your area of residence to do so. Visit the GCOM registration office responsible for your area of residence to conduct any of the above transactions. All GCOM registration offices will be open Mondays to Fridays from 8 hours to 18 hours, Saturdays and Sundays from 10 hours to 14 hours. For further information, contact GCOM at 225-027829, 226-65578 or 9-223-9650, or visit our website at www.gcom.org.gy.
Calling all small to large-scale businesses, the International Building Expo 2024 is coming to the National Stadium from August 8th to 11th, 2024. Whether you're a small business or a major player, there's a package for you starting as low as $20,000. Network with industry leaders, boost your brand visibility, and generate high-quality sales leads. Register now at www.buildingexpo.gy. That's www.buildingexpo.gy. Or call 592-635-1103 or 592-635-1104.
Oh no, welcome to Building Expo.
GCOM is currently conducting a claims and objections exercise to produce an official list of electors, OLE. If you are 18 years or over by June 30, 2024, and you are a Guyanese citizen by birth, descent, or naturalization, or a citizen from a Commonwealth country living in Guyana for 1 year or more, you are eligible for inclusion in the OLE. GCOM has posted the preliminary list of electors PLE in all the registration divisions for you to check if you are listed and whether your particulars are accurate. You can object to anyone you believe does not qualify for inclusion in the OLE. To do so, you must be listed in the same divisional list as the person you are objecting to. Visit the GCOM registration office responsible for your area of residence to make an objection. The objections aspect of this exercise will end on Monday, the 22nd of July, 2024. For more information, contact GCOM on 225-027829 or visit www.gcom.org.gy.
Good evening, I'm Daisy Richards and welcome to Monday's edition of the Regional News. We begin with news from Brazil. Brazilian far-right former President Jair Bolsonaro at a rally of conservative supporters on Saturday said the right was gaining ground internationally in Italy and France and said he hoped that former U.S. President Donald Trump will be returned to the White House this year. Quote, God willing, it will be Trump in November, unquote, he told a cheering crowd of 3,500 supporters at the CPAC Brazil 2024 event at a beach resort in southern Brazil. The event was intended to drum up support for Bolsonaro's party's candidates in this year's municipal elections and project his influence ahead of the 2026 presidential race. The rally was billed as the first major opposition rally of the campaign for local mayoral elections in October. Speakers attacked Brazil's current government of leftist President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva, calling it corrupt. They advocated Christian pro-life family values and a ban on abortion in speeches that were pro-gun and anti-drug. Former Chilean right-wing presidential candidate Jose Antonio Cast addressed the rally, and Argentina's Libertarian President Javier Milei was expected to address the closing session on Sunday afternoon. Bolsonaro lost his re-election bid to Lula in 2022 and has been banned from running for elected office until 2030 due to his attacks on Brazilian democracy and its electronic voting system. Despite being under investigation for his alleged role in encouraging supporters to storm government buildings a week after Lula took office in January last year, Bolsonaro maintains a large following that share his right-wing views, which he successfully broadcasts on social media. With funding from his right-wing Liberal Party, Bolsonaro draws crowds wherever he goes to back candidates for the upcoming local elections. Herme Casaros, a political scientist at the FGV think tank in Sao Paulo, said the presence of Milei and Cast shows that Bolsonaro and his political associates want Brazil to become a hemispheric hub for far-right coordination. While in Jamaica, preliminary assessments conducted by the Banana Board show an 80 to 100% loss of bananas and plantains consequent on the passage of Hurricane Beryl. The board has so far conducted assessments in the larger banana-producing parishes of St. Thomas, St. Mary, Portland, St. James, St. Catherine, and Clarendon. General Manager Janet Connie says officers are still on the ground assessing the losses despite access and communication issues. Quote, for the commercial banana farmers, which is about 1,564 hectares on the ground, they have experienced about 90% of losses. So the loss is great and we are still assessing, unquote, she said. Quote, we have asked the farmers to, as soon as possible, go back to their farms. If there are bunches of fruits that are down that you cannot take out right away, we ask that you cover them. If they are exposed to the sun, they will be damaged and you can't sell them. That's the first thing, and since we are at 80 to 100% damage, that means the plants are down, unquote, she said. Connie further advised the farmers can leave bunches that are not yet ready still attached to the plant to promote the fruit's continued development. The general manager said where this is not possible and bunches can be sold, which entails cutting off sections of the plant that are broken or bent and which may be rotting. Additionally, she said the board asks that, quote, if these are fruits that you can hold in cold storage or a ripening room, keep them. If they are in the field, cover them, then try to sell as much as you can. It is going to take another 9 months to recover if you follow our instructions, unquote, Connie added. Finally, news from Trinidad and Tobago. A Sangre Grande man was killed when he tried to defend his common-law wife from a man who attempted to whine on her at a bar on Friday. Karen Modise Jack, 39, of Northeastern Settlement, was liming at the popular establishment with a 34-year-old woman from Oropochi Road, Sangre Grande, around 6:30 p.m. when a man from Boys Bande Village, who was known to the woman, came up and attempted to gyrate on her. She pushed him off and walked away. Modise Jack smashed a glass bottle and confronted the suspect. The two men then got into a fight. The woman told police she ran off, but later found Modise Jack bleeding from wounds to his head and back. She took him to the Sangre Grande hospital where he was treated but died at 10:47 p.m. The suspect, whose hands were injured during the incident, was also taken to the hospital. He was interviewed by the police and remained warded up to Sunday. Thank you for watching. Do have a productive week. Until next time.
Hurricane Beryl sets back CARICOM's 25 by 25 food security target. President Ali. Citizens should receive direct cash transfers from oil revenues rather than politically driven cash handouts. Hughes. Bodies of missing Unity Mohaika youths recovered, and Enterprise man fatally stabbed, police hunting 3 suspects. Those are our major headlines. For these stories and more, please go to our website. It's www.hgptv.com. I'm Alethea Grant. Thanks for watching.
GCOM is currently conducting a claims and objections exercise to produce an official list of electors, OLE. GCOM has posted the preliminary list of electors, PLE, in all of the registration divisions across Guyana for you to check if you are listed, and if so, whether your particulars are accurate. If you are 18 years or over by June 30, 2024, and you are a Guyanese citizen by birth, descent, or naturalization, or a citizen from a Commonwealth country living in Guyana for 1 year or more, you are eligible for inclusion in the OLE. If you are eligible for inclusion in the OLE, you are required to apply for registration if your name is not in the PLE, apply for a transfer if you have changed your address since you were registered, apply for a name change if you have changed your name, or apply for a correction if your registration particulars are incorrect. Any person whose information on the PLE is incorrect can apply for such information to be changed or corrected. Any person applying for a change or correction to his or her particulars must provide the relevant original source document, birth certificate and deed poll for a name change by deed poll, marriage certificate and ID card for a name change by marriage, divorce absolute in the case of a woman who is desirous of reverting to her maiden name from her married name, birth certificate, adoption or naturalization certificate for correction of minor clerical errors. Visit the GCOM registration office responsible for your area of residence to conduct any of those transactions. The claims aspect of this exercise will end on Monday, July 15, 2024. For more information, contact GCOM on 225-0278-9 or visit www.gcom.org.gy.
Guyana, on August 1st, 2024, all roads lead to the National Park as the African Cultural and Development Association